Well, hold it. Quite simply, the conditions aren't particularly the great. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be switching it up a bit, video-wise, from my usual series, Britain's Best. And of course, as you can see, we've whipped the whiteboard out with the numbers 1 to 7 written from top to bottom. We've also got here some sheets of paper with some stuff on the back of them, which we'll be looking at in a moment. However, as usual, before we start the video, I'm going to be a pain and ask you to subscribe to me. Thanks very much. So, you might be wondering what the video actually is about. Well, today we're going to be ranking 7 of Britain's birds of prey. That's what the numbers are for. And these sheets of paper all have pictures of the 7 species on the back of them. Okay, let's get stuck in. The first bird at the top of the pile is, by the looks of it, the common buzzard. Now, if you've watched one of my previous videos, you will have heard about the common buzzard quite a bit. So as you can see, the plumage is mainly brownish with a bit of white on the face and a yellow and black bill. Now, they're probably the commonest of Britain's birds of prey, and you can see them quite often on a walk in the countryside, soaring on hot air thermals high in the sky on their large broad wings. Also, another way to identify them is by their call. Also quite well known actually, it's a cat-like mew. It's quite resounding. But yeah, definitely, if you're out on a countryside walk and you hear that, it could be a cat on the side of the path. But then again, it could be a buzzard. But yeah, just because, yes, okay, I'm a birder, but I like rare stuff. So unfortunately, just because of how much quality there is later on in the video, I'm sorry, buzzard, but I'm going to have to put you at 7th.
Are you serious right now?
Very strange, said there. Okay, what have we got next? Okie dokie. Looks like we've got the osprey. Now, this is definitely a bird to get excited about. So these are birds that come from the Congo in Africa. Not necessarily origin, but they will winter there. So pretty much all of the ospreys in Britain, even the ones that breed here, are summer migrants. So they will come from their wintering areas, such as the Congo in Africa, and come back here sort of April, May sort of time. And they'll leave in roughly October. Now, ospreys are a very scarce bird. As you can see, they're quite a large bird of prey, mainly white, but with some dark chocolate brown feathers, and of course the eye stripe there. Another thing about ospreys as well is that their diet is basically all fish. Now, ospreys are one of the few birds in the world that can be found in every single one of the world's continents, and that is simply because there's fish on every single continent. So yeah, I think ospreys are pretty cool. They're definitely one of my favourite birds of prey that can be found in the UK. So yeah, I think I'll put it in 2nd. Yeah, there we go. Alright, moving on to the next species. This is the Marsh Harrier. Now, there's probably been a couple of news reports or newspaper articles that you may have seen about this bird. They've had an extremely good success story over the last sort of, I would say, century. They used to be pretty much extinct in Britain, if not completely, back in the 1800s. very early 1900s, but they have made a sensational comeback, especially in areas like Norfolk in East Anglia. That's probably their stronghold, I'd say, in the UK. They're still quite rare in places like Scotland or the West Country. But yeah, if you go to the right place, which is marshes, judging by their name, but more often reed beds, you can easily see one just gliding over the reed beds looking for small birds and possibly small mammals as well. In terms of identification, this is a male here. You can see it has the brown, slightly reddish brown on the head and the belly, and it sort of has the silvery white wings with the black wingtips. The female is more of a overall chocolate brown, and it has a sandy brown eye stripe. So yeah, I think marsh harriers are definitely one of my favourite native British birds of prey. I'm going to put it in fourth. Alright, so 3 big places taken up there. Alright, next bird. This is the kestrel. Now, this is probably, after the buzzard, it is our second commonest, I think, bird of prey in the British Isles. So if you're outside and you see rather peculiar looking birds sort of hovering over the fields, that would probably be a kestrel hovering for voles and mice in the fields. Now, these birds, they like to perch on telephone poles and in big oak trees if they get the chance. Just sort of scout the area around and have a look to see if there's any prey about. Of course, their hovering makes them quite a well-known species of bird, and actually there is quite a few people that will be able to recognise a kestrel just because of its hovering. In terms of identification, it's a mainly brown bird in the females, with of course you can see the black speckling and the black primary wings there. The males, they're more grey-blue on the wings and the crown, and yeah, they're quite a delightful little bird, I'd say. I say little. Yes, they're much bigger than robins, but they're quite a small falcon in terms of birds of prey. I'm going to put kestrel in. Tough choice. I'm going to say 6th. Sorry, kestrel. It's fairly low down, but there's some good stuff later on. There we go. Now, this is our smallest falcon. Our smallest bird of prey, in fact, in the UK. The merlin. Now, you've probably got thoughts in your head now of the wizard, and you're like, oh wow, that must be a special bird. I don't actually know if it's named after the wizard or if it's not. Mind you, I'm sure this was around long before the wizard was, but I don't know. You can look it up. Yeah, so as I said, they are our smallest UK raptor. They're normally found in moorland in the summer breeding season. However, in the winter, when prey is scarce, they'll come down to the coast, and they favour places like saltwater marshes, where prey, aka waders and wildfowl, is a bit more abundant. The merlin is, again, quite a brown bird, really. I think half the birds in the British Isles are, to be honest. You can see this is a female. It has the brown wings and the white underside, throat and face with the brown speckling or barring. The male, very like the kestrel, instead of the brown on the wings and the crown, has a gunmetal blue. Yeah, I'm going to say 3rd for this one. It's probably one of my favourite UK birds of prey. So yeah. Merlin going in third.
People do believe that.
Second to last, we have the golden eagle. Now, this is an extremely large raptor. It favours the highlands and mountainsides of Scotland in the UK, although there have been a couple of records in the last decade in the Lake District. They are named after these golden feathers on what we call the nape and the crown, and of course its golden eye is probably another factor of the name. Overall though, the bird is mainly quite brown. It is an extremely enormous raptor, second largest after the white-tailed eagle in Britain. It is, to be honest, a killing machine as well. Now, this beak here, massive hook on it. You might be saying, whoa, hares take care. Actually, it's the talons that do all the work. Of course, there's no talons in this picture. They'll probably be down there or something. But, yeah, they are absolutely ginormous things. They will rip apart a human into shreds in 5 minutes, I would think. But yeah, the talons do most of the dirty work, and the hook beak is simply for tearing up the flesh. But yeah, again, like the osprey, another quite scarce bird, even in its breeding range, to be honest. There's about 450 pairs breeding in Scotland right now. And although it is protected, actually that's quite a large population, because the males can have over like 10 kilometres or something ridiculous for their breeding territory. But yeah, a very special bird, golden eagle, and really quite majestic. It's going to go in fifth. Alright, and that leaves us to our number one spot, which is going to be taken by, drumroll please, the peregrine falcon. Now, like some of the birds on this list, this is quite a well-known bird of prey, simply because of one thing. It's the fastest living creature on Earth. This bird, when stooping, can reach speeds of more than 200 miles per hour. This is achieved by flying quite high up into the sky, locking in on its prey, which is normally some type of pigeon or duck, and aiming at its target, it will begin the descent down. Going like a torpedo with wings closed in to its body, it can reach speeds of literally 250 miles per hour. And of course, if it hits the target, they don't stand a chance. Otherwise though, they're a very smart looking bird and very adaptive as well. You might have heard of one nesting on your local cathedral or large church if you live in a city or a coastal town. So yeah, they're probably another quite good success story of the last century. They used to be used for falconry as well. They're very popular for falconry. But yeah, they're definitely, I think, by quite a way, my favourite bird of prey in Britain. So I will put peregrine falcon in the number one spot. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my list for 7 of the British birds of prey, all ranked from 7 to 1. We have buzzard, kestrel, golden eagle, marsh harrier, merlin, osprey, and in the first spot, peregrine falcon. In my opinion, the king of all the world's falcons. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to share this with someone else. See you later.